For most of its history, the Earth operated as a highly calibrated, self-sustaining biological engine. Every component had a specific mechanical function. Massive forest networks acted as the planet's lungs, pulling carbon from the air, while intricate river systems functioned like arteries, circulating water and regulating global temperatures. When early humans began to build societies, they relied entirely on this ecological stability. The predictability of the seasons allowed for agriculture, and the stable coastlines made safe settlement possible. This immense, quiet equilibrium was the necessary foundation of all human evolution. We survived because the planet's systems were balanced, a reality so constant we eventually took it entirely for granted. As our technological capabilities accelerated, we reached a dangerous tipping point. We began pushing for hyper-development, completely decoupling our growth from the physical limits of the environment. In a fraction of geological time, industrial expansion injected massive volumes of trapped greenhouse gases directly into the atmosphere. Simultaneously, we dismantled the planet's natural filtration systems, stripping away millions of acres of old-growth forests that could have absorbed those emissions. To feed this relentless progress, we carved open the Earth itself, permanently scarring the topography to extract raw materials. Every emission and felled tree functioned as a synchronized dismantling of the planet's regulatory thermodynamics, all but guaranteeing a massive systemic blowback. This chart illustrates exactly how that blowback operates. As the line shows global temperatures spiking from trapped heat energy, the volume beneath it reveals the corresponding collapse of global ice mass. The intense atmospheric heat forces ancient, stable ice reserves to convert rapidly into an expanding liquid state. When you multiply billions of microscopic drops of meltwater across entire polar regions, the sheer mathematics dictate an immense, unstoppable surge in total ocean volume. The sea has evolved into an energized, rapidly expanding physical force surging toward our coastal populations. When that displaced water finally reaches urban centers, it violently breaches artificial barriers, instantly overwhelming centuries of modern civil engineering. Within hours, highly developed grid systems and concrete avenues revert to a hostile, deadly topography dictated entirely by the flow of deep water. A rapid cascading failure of societal order follows. Power grids short out, structures collapse under the kinetic force of the currents, and immediate panic overtakes the trapped population. All of humanity's vaunted technological and developmental achievements are rendered entirely useless the moment the baseline environment turns against them. Amidst that macro-level destruction, the reality is experienced on a micro, painfully intimate scale. A single father, gripping a rough tree trunk, desperately securing his young child against the roaring muddy current. The muddy water climbing up his legs serves as the direct physical extension of the melting glaciers we tracked earlier, driven by global atmospheric physics. As his physical stamina begins to fail under the freezing torrent, he is driven by one singular psychological imperative. He must keep his child's head above the waterline, even if it costs him his life. Our global race for unchecked industrial development specifically engineered this inescapable, localized death trap for its own citizens. Eventually, the hydrostatic pressure overtakes human biology. The water surges past his chest, then his neck, leaving him unable to anchor. The child screams for help, pleading with the sky, but those cries are swallowed by the relentless momentum of churning dark water. Nature operates purely on the cold physics of consequence, indifferent to human morality or regret. When the waters finally recede, they leave behind a chilling silence. The human presence is entirely erased, replaced by a thick, suffocating layer of mud and a dead landscape. Current atmospheric data frames this scenario as a highly probable preview of our immediate future. Acknowledging that future forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Through our daily inaction, we are actively authorizing the destruction of our own species. This visual ledger balances industrial output against our depleting ecological stability. Every resource consumed today is a fragile loan borrowed from our children. To service this debt, we must make immediate payments, actively restore forests, protect vital rivers, and halt unchecked fossil extraction. Saving nature is the only mechanical way to save humanity. To default on this loan is to guarantee our own extinction.